Alrighty, so in this video we're doing a building guide for Sons of the Forest, or like a building tips and tricks kind of video to help you get you started on building your first base in Sons of the Forest. This one is not finished, but I've learned quite a bit along the way when I've been building it. And yeah, I thought I would teach you everything I've learned and yeah, some tips and tricks along the way too. So before we get started, a like would be very much appreciated, and get subscribed for more content like this in the future, and let's get started. So first things first, we're going to want to build ourselves a nice basic survival structure here so that we have a place to sleep and save while we're building our main base. And the way you want to build one of these is just by opening up your inventory here. Get yourself a tarp, place it on the ground. Then you can press G to put away anything in your inventory, and then go over to one of the corners, just left click, and as long as you have just one stick in your inventory, you'll be able to do this, and then now you have a nice little survival structure where you can sleep and save. So yeah, that's how you build one of these. Now before we get into actually building our main base, there are some tips that I want to give you. The first one is build yourself a nice little log collector here, because logs in this game have a tendency to roll around really easily. As you can see, if I place this on even a slight slope here, hold on, there we go. They roll super easily, so if you cut down a tree, or if you have Kevin just placing logs on the ground, chances are they might roll down the hill. So build yourself a nice little log collector, super simple. Just 5 standing logs and then 1 going from the corner down, or the top down, you know what I'm saying? That's the first tip. The second one is, well, not really a tip, it's actually just the location of your base. I would recommend building your base right by a river if you can, because fresh water is kind of necessary in Sons of the Forest. And then also build it in a semi-open area like I have done here, because it is very convenient to be able to see any enemies that are coming towards your base, because I have noticed that since I've built this here, I've gotten ambushed by enemies quite a bit. So yeah, it's just nice to be able to see them coming from a long ways away, especially when there's a lot of them, because I notice when I'm in the forest, they can sort of like hide in the trees and the bushes and all that. So building in a nice field here is very nice and convenient. So my last tip is just get yourself a nice axe. I don't know, I think this one is the modern axe. I can't exactly remember where to find it, but there are plenty of tutorials on YouTube to teach you. And yeah, it just works much better than this one. So get yourself a nice axe. And yeah, that's it for right now. Let's get into the actual building part. So, well, actually no, not yet, because there are 2 different types of building. You have the custom building and the blueprint style building. So if you press B on your keyboard, it will open up the book here. When the book is on the left hand side of the screen, you're in the blueprint building side, and then if you press X when it's over here, this is like the custom building side of the book, or whatever, you know. But for right now, let's focus on the blueprint side. It's just like Sons of the Forest, where you can just pick anything you want here, and like let's do a lean-to. You can just put wherever you want. You can use Q and R to rotate it, and then yeah, you can put the logs in using E. And yeah, pretty simple. There's not many tips and tricks I could give you here. Just put the blueprint down and go to town, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, now let's get into the actual custom building side of the game, which is much more better in my opinion. So I would recommend you build a custom base instead of a blueprint style base. First things first, you need to build yourself a nice foundation, as you can see that I've done here. It's very easy to do so. You can get yourself some logs, and then there are 2 different ways you can put them on the ground. You could place them down horizontally like this, or you can right click and you can place them vertically. Now vertically is for doing like defensive walls around your base, and then horizontally is for doing well, your foundation of your base right here. Now to actually get started, as you can see, you can just start placing logs down however you want, and then you can just attach them to the corners. As you can see, you have a little arrow that tells you which way you're going here. If I place this one down here, very simple. You might notice that this log is going down like the slope. Don't worry though, when you place one more log here, it will lift that corner up. Now let me get some more logs, and then say you want to connect both of these corners up. When you place one going this way, it will once again lift that corner up, and then you can place one going from, or wait, no, never mind. It's going to actually, when you're on enough of a slope, it will actually place a log under it to make sure everything is level. So, and then boom, there you go. Now you have a nice foundation, or it's not finished completely yet. You need to put in the middle supports here, as you can see that I've done here. but very simple. Now, if you want to place floors down, it's pretty simple too. Once again, I need some more logs. Now, you don't even have to pre-cut the logs. Like if you don't know, you can actually just cut logs like on your own by getting your axe out. And then if you see the red line there, you can actually just split them right in half. And then you can use these to place down just like so. But there's a much easier way to do it for when you're making floors. You can just hold the log on your shoulder, go up to it, and when you see this sort of animation here, it will automatically cut the log in half so that you can place it down. So yeah, that building the floor, that's super simple. I'm not going to spend much time on that one. Now building walls, I'm not going to demonstrate over there because it is very, very easy. Well, actually, no, I will. Just cause. It's very simple. Just go over to the edge and you can place logs down like this. And then if you want to get a vertical log in the corner, well, actually you need to do that first. Pick that log up. Oh, I should mention, if you want to pick anything up, don't bother swinging your axe at it because that is not good. Don't do that. Just look at it and you can just press C or hold C and it'll pick it back up. Very simple. But when you're building your walls, you want to just go over to the corner, place a vertical log like that, and then place a horizontal log like that. And they need to be 6 logs high. As you can see over there, 6 logs, and then that's a wall right there. Very, very, very simple. Now, if you want to make a door, that's once again very simple. I'm not going to do the full process of making a door because I already have a door in this base. But the process is the same for if you want to build a window too. Just look at any log, and you can see the red dotted lines there. It will take a chunk out of the log right there. And now you have a window here. If you could stop here if you want just a window, or you can do all the logs down, or you can do this log there and then the 2 down there too as well, and then you'll have a door. And then to fill in the logs here, just get yourself 2 logs and then look at it and you'll see the animation for splitting the log in half and placing it. It will automatically do that and place them vertically, and then you'll have a door. Very, very simple. Now, the first step to building a roof on your base is actually building these struts here. Here's the finished product. Now, the way you make this is by actually just placing 1 log here, and then you would see the arrow animation like that. That would lift that log up and place another one underneath it. Now, don't worry, we will get rid of this log in a moment. Okay, dude, you're taking my logs, man. But then you would once again you would do the same thing on this side, and then you would link the 2 logs up there. And then to get rid of this log, hold on, I need to get the logs he's taken. To get rid of this log, all we need to do is place one of these gussets right here. The way you would do this is by placing a log on the ground and then looking at it right in the middle until you see that red dotted line. Where is it at? Just try to find that red dotted line. There we go, right in the middle. And you could chop a log right in half and then place it right there to build your gussets. And then you can pick this log back up. And there you go. Now you have just struts. So yeah, that's cool. Alright, so it's actually been about an hour in real life since that last clip when I showed you how to build the walls and the struts and stuff. Because I went and built myself a pitched roof so I could show you guys how to do that, which I'm going to show you right now. So once you have gotten your struts here done, you can either go ahead and build just a basic flat roof like this just by taking a log. I don't have one on me, but you look up and you'll see the log splitting animation, and it will just automatically split the log and place it there for you. That's a very basic roof. If you don't got much time or you don't feel like getting more logs, that one will definitely get the job done. But if you want to tell your base to look a little bit more fancy, then you can go ahead and build yourself a pitched roof, which I will show you how I did that right now. First things first, you'd want to place a log right here just so that you can get on top of your base. It isn't the best solution, but I didn't think it was worth making stairs to get up on there because that does take a couple more logs. Just place a log there and it'll be good to go. But to build a pitched roof, you want to take some full logs and place them along your struts on one side. So you'll need 4 logs and place them here, here, and then here and here. And then I would recommend cutting them logs in half. That way you'll have half logs that you can place on the opposite side. And then you'll have 8 logs all around your struts here, ready to put the other logs on. But if you wanted to, you could keep them full logs. It just really depends on how steep you want the pitch of your roof to be. If you keep the logs at the full like log size, your roof is going to be pretty steep. I mean, and if you want that, you can totally do that if you want. But I think that half logs work the best because you'll also be able to use the other half logs for on this side. But once you have your vertical logs in place, you can go ahead and place your like supporting logs here all around your roof, as you can see. And then you want to place some more logs across the top, connecting the two sides of your roof. That way you'll be able to place your half logs throughout the entirety of your roof. Now to fill this big like gap in right here, I just took 2 full logs and placed them in there. Now to fill this gap, I have no clue how to fill this gap, to be honest with you. I'm just going to say it's for ventilation purposes because we want some fresh air in our base, because I don't know how to fill in that gap. So yeah, if someone knows how to fill this in, and just let me know in the comments. I'd appreciate that. But yeah, once you have the basic skeleton of your pitched roof, you can go ahead and place your half logs in across the top, as I've started doing here. But yeah, if you followed my instructions throughout this entire video, you should now have a base, a basic house. Now, if you want, you can place some defensive walls around your base. I would really recommend doing this because throughout the time that I was building this pitched roof, I had just a gang of enemies just coming over here, and they were some new enemies that I haven't seen before. They were really big, red, fat dudes, and they took a lot of bullets to kill. So definitely place some defensive walls in, and that's super simple. I don't actually have many logs left here to show you. I'll just use these logs as an example. But you would, instead of placing logs horizontally, you would right click to get the second building option, and then you can start building logs or your wall wherever you want to, just by placing the log down. And then we can get another one here, and you can see it kind of like latches on, like locks on to the side of the log, and you can just place it wherever you want. I'm gonna go like right here, and just keep on doing that all the way around your base. It's gonna take a long time to get your defensive walls in. I mean, just look. We have a lot of ground to cover here. But you may notice that if you want your wall to be in a perfectly straight line, you can see the line right here to keep them straight, or you can obviously, turn it if you want like that. It all depends on what you want to do. Now, once you do have your defensive walls in place, I would recommend looking up. As you can see, just looking at the top of the logs, you'll see the red dotted lines, and then you can chop the tops of your logs off to have it be a spiky top. So that's really cool. I'm not sure what this does. I'm not sure if it's just aesthetics or if it actually helps prevent enemies from climbing over your base or your walls. But just do that for all of your logs. I'm not going to do it for all of these here because I actually need these to finish that base. But you get the point. Defensive walls, pretty simple, just going around your base. But yeah, I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you didn't, hey, drop a like down below. I'd really appreciate that. And yeah, if you have any more tips and tricks for Sons of the Forest, I would really appreciate if you put them in the comments down below. If you're able to put a lot of them in one comment, I will pin that comment just so that everybody else will see them. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.